we show this much body?
I don't know. Did we show? Did we show this much body before? I don't know.
Are we live?
We got it.
Online?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on. It's happening. We caught Thelma at the perfect time.
Yes.
We both flashed you right before we...
Yeah, I was wondering about our camera placement, but...
Yes. In our very sophisticated system
yes.
of cameraing. Yes. Well, you know what it is, Thelma? It's different because of our background, which is different.
What's different about the background?
So the background is actually the topic of discussion for this episode today, because we had the glorious picture.
But you know what? It matched the couch.
Yeah.
It matched the paint color. So we decided.
And we both love nature, and it was quite naturey.
It was perfect, and it had to go there.
That's right. And so, ironically, like, we both thought it was a great option, and we, like, I already had it here. We didn't have to go buy anything, and it just seemed to really fit. We tried other pictures that I had around the house before, and if it had words, it didn't look right. It was backwards, and anyway, this appeared to be a great fit.
Right.
A great fit.
Yeah.
And so we decided, and we put it up, and then after the first day, it fell, because I don't like putting holes in walls. I love these 3M things. That's what these are. They're the 3M wall hanging sticky things, and I love them. And you always say, like, you make things permanent.
Okay, I do. I love nails, but I just want you to know that we're not getting any money from 3M. Just
we're not promoting. Like, okay, I'm not promoting them, but yes.
Just saying. Just want to be honest.
Yes, that's right. So, but by the time the first day was over, it had already, like, slipped and fallen, and so then we put it up again and put more stickies on, and this time it didn't fall, but it, like, started to sag, and it was looking so droopy, and it looked horrible. And what was happening was the backing on the canvas picture, it was actually, like, separating from the wood of the frame. And so these little stickies were so sticky that it didn't fall this time, because we had more stickies, but it was started to sag. So then we still decided that it still needed to be the picture of choice.
That's right.
And so then Thelma and I got out the duct tape, and we're like,
we're going to fix this.
That's right. Like, we're going to fix this sucker. And then we added even more. Like, we added more stickies. We had duct tape. So we duct taped the backing.
Right. We wanted to create a different surface.
That's right. Yeah. So we really went to town. And honestly, I should have taken a picture. I didn't. But the amount of sag that happened. So after the last time that we recorded, it was a few days later, I came down here to do laundry, and it was like, wah, like major sag. Like, the duct tape was sagging, and, like, it was so unhappy. And so I took it all down, but I purposely left this up because I'm like, when Thelma and I get together again, we need to talk about this, actually.
Okay.
And so even though I had clients down here, I was like, whatever, just ignore these stickies on the wall, because they're serving an important purpose when my friend Thelma gets back. So here's the thing, is that, like, I've learned that with everything, whether it's human or not, I treat everything as though it has feelings and it has energy, and it like, I treat everything as though it's a person.
Okay.
Because I like to try to just, like, make sense of my world, and sometimes things don't make sense. So then if I can, like, give them a character, or give them a personality, or give them their own energy, then I can better understand, like, well, if this was a person, what would it be trying to tell me? And ironically enough, this picture has a mate.
Right.
It's actually a set of two. And I feel that we separated the partners And I just, again, it's like, I just really feel that this picture did not want to be a solo picture by itself on this wall. And it's not the right picture, even though we thought it was and we wanted it to be. I just feel like it was showing us that it's not.
Well, I agree. Things have energy, and acknowledging that energy is important. Some things come in pairs. Some things like to be alone, like that.
It's like, get me out of here.
But I think that this is actually kind of funny, but so often in our life we force things. We force situations. We believe we're right.
Yes.
And
that we
know better.
That's
we know
right.
better, yeah. So we decide what's going to happen, and you get a lot of messages. First, you get a little sag.
A little droop, a little sag.
Droop,
yes.
And then if you don't listen, it's like, okay, we're going to fall off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, did we listen? No. So
now we're gonna break. Now we're gonna fall off and break. Like, it just can keep escalating.
Yeah. Kick
right?
it up a notch. Kick it up a notch. And it's funny because I had this happen with my health. I love essential oils. I won't be promoting essential oils either, just so you know. And I truly believe that the plant energy is healing and a gift from nature. So I love my essential oils. But like pretty much everything I do, if a little bit is good, more is better. And I'm sure I just overdid it. And I started getting hives, itchy nose. And so then I thought, well, I'm just going to look online and see what a good allergy essential is. So I added more essential oils. And then it was one day I thought, what is wrong with you? So kind of did a little energy testing. Sure enough,
you were reacting.
I was reacting to all these helper plant medicines.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean essential oils are bad?
No.
It doesn't. But they weren't right for me at the time.
And I feel like there was a message in that for you, because you didn't react initially to them. But it wasn't until, whether it's like a point in your life or a realization you were meant to make, or like a wake-up call, then all of a sudden these things like kind of kick our butts. And that's even with food.
Yeah.
Like, people can eat a certain food for so long and be fine with it and not react to it at all. That was me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't eat that. Well, it's not the food. It's how we react to the food.
Right.
And like, I initially just kept forcing the food because it's like, I can't not eat this. Like, I want to eat this. And then I force it, and then it, like, my body didn't want it. And it was trying, again, it's like trying to tell me the message.
Yes.
Or get my attention so that I would get the message and clue in to like what's going on, like where I'm at, or what I'm supposed to learn or understand or whatever. Hey, so it's the force. It's how we learn. Like, I know there's a lot of teachings out there where it's like, well, if something's not working, push harder. If something's not, like, if a door is closed, you bang on that door until it opens. And like, we're actually taught force in a lot of ways. I feel like, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Like, push through the pain, push.
Yeah.
And I just have really started to question that whole philosophy.
Well, and also the notion of just because we think it's good for us, that's probably, or it was, or it worked before, or it worked for my sister, so it should work for me. Or I watched a really good program on TV and I thought, well, I should do that.
Yeah.
That would help me. But we get these messages, and it's like a physical element. And you get a little ache and you ignore it. And your body says, well,
you should really be paying attention to this little ache.
Yeah. So then, well, okay. Then all of a sudden it's a spasm. And you think, well, that's get the spasm fixed, and then she's still not listening, is she? Let's kick it up another notch. And
let's give her a frozen shoulder or a sciatic nerve.
there
or
you go.
Whatever,
Having
right?
recovered from a frozen shoulder, I know exactly what that's about. So I think so often the message is to slow down, pay attention,
open your eyes, have a look around, and like listen,
and ask yourself, preferably silent, because what am I forcing? What am I trying to make happen that doesn't want to happen?
Yes.
Doesn't want to hang there. Doesn't want to wear those high heels or finish training for the marathon that you're never going to run. Like, well, no, I'm never going to do that. But that was an example.
Yeah.
But it's just so often we take messages from external, apply them internally, and when they don't fit, we don't know what to do.
Yeah. But yet, the thing or the experience or the other person is trying to tell us that it's not working. It's not what's best for us, and it's just like, I just feel like a lot of times, again, it's like ignore the signs and only pay attention to your head, and like only listen to your head. Again, it's a society thing again and again and again, right? It's just like we're just taught so many things that I just have been realizing over the past few years. It's like, well, that just doesn't seem right though. Like so much stuff that these sayings or these points of view that it's common knowledge almost, right? But when you really sit down and start to question it or think about it, it's like, but that's not actually working for me in my life. So I kind of need to like let go of that saying or that philosophy or that perspective and like start bringing in what's actually gonna work and not drive me crazy or make me miserable. Because man, like, it is so hard. It's exhausting pounding on closed doors. Or it's exhausting. Like, I was describing to you my yard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for years, not years because we haven't been here that long, but there's been certain plants in my yard that just have not been doing well where they were planted. Or there's some that are, like, out of control and they're, like, starting to affect the plants around them. But it's like, well... like
the landscaper
put them in, and they knew what they were doing, and they chose the locations, and they chose this and they chose that, so I should just go with it. But meanwhile, every time I look outside, it's like, oh, that's not how I want it though, and it's not like, it just doesn't feel right to me. And so I was just sharing with Thelma earlier today that like I'm in major overhaul mode right now in my yard, because it's like I'm so tired from like being irritated with what's growing out of control and exhausted from trying to like nurture and like sustain and baby some of these other things that aren't happy where they're at, and they're not happy with how they've been planted. And like it's just, again, it's like we've got to find what works for us. And I just feel that like force doesn't actually work. I just, that's a conclusion that basically I'm at with everything in my life. It's like I'll knock on a door and maybe I'll knock a couple times, but if the door isn't even going to open a tiny little crack, I'm moving on. Like I'll try a different door. Like it's not like, well, I'm just going to abandon my yard or abandon my family or abandon like my my self-care or whatever. Like, okay, maybe I wish that I was a little bit more fit right now, let's say. And it's like, well, why am I not losing weight? Why am I not losing weight? I'm exercising, I'm busting my ass out in my yard. But it's just like, okay, well, am I gonna go hardcore and keep pounding on that same door to try to lose weight? Or am I gonna look for different things to help my body click into weight losing action or like getting more exercise. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do, and I'm not an expert on weight loss. Well, no, I lose it and then I find it again. So I think that's a whole.
You just rearrange it.
I know that's a whole other talk. But I just wanted to step back a few little things. I think that we're so fortunate to be in this time and space because hopefully we're evolving. And the things that used to work don't.
Yes.
And it's...
Oh my gosh, that's so true, Thelma.
So we're in this space where we now have the freedom to say, is this in my best interest? And we're not so bound by tradition or...
well, fear,
but also
like...
just like it's getting to be more socially acceptable, or maybe I'm really far out on this, but
we think it's getting more socially acceptable to be like to go outside of the box
for
or
sure,
to like look for other options or knock on other doors because 30 years ago, like, man, if you tried knocking on a different door, that was seen as like, well, what are you doing? And like, we don't do different things.
We've always done it this way.
Yeah, it's always been this way. Just do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Get on the bandwagon, right?
So I think that we are so fortunate. And I was recently in Minneapolis, and they have
which you're not promoting Minneapolis.
No, I'm not. I'm not getting any money from Minneapolis. And well, no, that's for another day. But I'm not going to finish that thought. But I really enjoyed Caribou Coffee.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious. And their motto is, life is short, be awake for it.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it's a good motto. And I think a lot of what's happening right now for many people is a sense of awakening to their purpose, what works for them, what doesn't work for them.
And just this realization that what they used to do or how they used to be or what they used to think just isn't actually working anymore. Or like even for our physical body, it's like, well, I used to do this to lose weight and now it's not working. Or I used to eat this and be fine, but now it's like, now I'm bothered by it. Or I used to just like, I used to see myself in this one way, but now I'm not seeing myself in that way anymore. And I totally agree. It's like what used to work, or like even with medications. Yeah. Like, there's so, which I want to lead into another topic, but I'm like, no, I have to save it for like a different episode. But
stay tuned, because we have a lot more coming.
We got a lot to talk about.
We're going to finish this one, but we have a lot to talk.
But even with medications, it's like, I feel like so often now, what used to work for certain things isn't actually working anymore. And I love your philosophy that it's because we're evolving and like we're expanding. So what we're doing and like just like everything in our life also has to expand.
You know, it's funny. When I was a kid, I used to think that when you grew up, and that was like to be 18, you were an adult. That was it. Yeah. Like that being grown up was started then and ended when you died.
Yeah.
It's not so.
No. Well, and it's also, I actually, so my daughter had a ball game last night and I went for a walk because I'm multitasking, right?
Yeah, it's you like, gotta get it done.
Because she has to be there so early before the game, right?
Right.
So like I got time to walk for almost an hour before the ball game starts. So I went for my walk and then I brought clothes to change into, but it was really hot out last night, right? So I just had like a tank top and short shorts and I had like a hat and sunglasses and like just like a little backpack for my water and ice and a snack and whatever. Anyway, so I was walking up towards where the ball game was, and I could tell one of our parents wanted to say something to me as I was approaching. And so I got close enough to her and she leaned over the bleachers. She's like, "You look like you're 12 years old." I just started laughing. I was like, well, better 12 than 40. But it made me laugh because it's like, I never want to grow up. Like I never want to grow up. And as long as I can work with what I'm wearing. Like, who cares if I'm almost 40? I can dress young in a tank top and have my backpack and my shades, and it just was really cute because I loved it. Like, I didn't take offense to it at all. I was like, I actually loved that she called me a 12-year-old, but it wasn't my behavior. It was just
That's
like,
good.
yeah, no, that was for during the game when I acted 12. But no, it's just like my appearance and my, like, just like how I was presenting myself. I think she just thought I looked really youthful and like, just like.
So that was your space. You were in a 12-year-old space.
Yeah, like I just was so happy to be outside, and like I love summer tank tops and just summery stuff, and I just was like, I kind of felt very carefree in that moment. And maybe that was also what she was picking up on.
For sure.
Because I was like, I really wasn't dressed any different than I am most other times, and like it's not like I was wearing kids' clothes. Like it was still adult attire. But
you don't have to explain it
yeah,
to
I was
me.
like, I swear it was like presentable.
Yeah.
But no, I just felt very happy and carefree and not weighed down by the burdens of life in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually am, now that I'm talking about it, I think that was likely also what she was picking up on, is just like, I was just carefree and just like enjoying the moment and being in that, you know, in that space. And
So I think when you read about being present, that's what that was.
mm-hmm.
You were enjoying the walk, the space, your own company.
I was excited to watch my daughter's ball game.
Yeah.
And like see the fun parents and
Well, and when you're in that space, it's evident
yeah.
to other people, not only from your demeanor, but also the energy you give off.
Yeah.
So
I'm very happy giving off 12-year-old energy.
There you go. Well,
I'm good with that.
It's better than being all frowny and texting on your iPhone and,
mm-hmm.
you know, not
Yeah.
even being aware or awake to what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. So,
How did we get from there to force?
well, just that, like, I just didn't force myself to look a certain way or
Right.
be a certain way or dress a certain way because I'm a mom and moms have to dress a certain way and they have to present themselves a certain way and they have to be serious, like, you know, that 18 thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, we are grown-ups now because we're over 18, but we can still be youthful and playful, and we can still see, like every time I go outside, I'm so excited to see the world this time of year. And, like, it's just, like, that sense of excitement and adventure, and, like, we don't have to lose that
No.
just because we're grown-ups. We don't have to force ourselves to act grown up and serious and very frowny just because we're a mom or a grandma or just because of the situation that we're in.
Or what people think we should. Because really, that, or the old should. We should do this. Or I have an hour before ball. I could probably get this done.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my planner and I'm going to write lists and I'm going to spend that time kind of being miserable.
Yeah. And I was just so happy because where her ball diamonds were was like down by the river and like by a golf course, and like I was just in my glory. Like I was so happy. And I'm the only one that does that. Like I'm the only one that
Yeah.
chooses
The only
that
one at
so
this
far.
time.
So
At this
far.
time.
That's right.
So you set an example and
I do.
pretty soon
and then
you'll have
people
a...
are like, well, because they were like, did you go home and do laundry again? I was like, nope, I went for a walk today. And they're like, oh, you went for a walk. So yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm planting seeds that other people could come for a walk too.
Okay.
And dress in short shorts and tank top later if they want to.
So I'm just going to summarize. Don't force stuff and be happy.
Yeah. I think
How's
that's a
that?
good way to wrap that up. It's like, don't force yourself to be a certain way if it's not what makes you happy.
Or
Right?
really what's best for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're not going to force this picture to be here because I really feel that picture that we had, if I imagined that it was a person, that person did not want to be here. It wanted to be back with its mate. It wants to be somewhere else. Maybe it would be happier here if we had its mate with it, but then it doesn't work for our space.
That's right.
So I'm not going to force it, and it's not going to force me, and we'll just be happy to, like, be at peace with that, and we'll find another picture.
So, actually, you can tune in next time. Well, maybe not next time, because we might keep working.
Yeah, I don't...
And see our new set.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's something to look forward to.
That's right. When we find the right piece
we'll
again.
we'll decide what belongs there. But we won't force anything, because it could actually fall on our heads.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes,
So
exactly.
we're going to let that be.
That's right. So thank you so much for tuning in on our talk about forcing things today. And I'm sure we will see you again soon.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye.